The community that I belong, or the community that we work with, that's the people who use drugs. Among the four key population that has been categorized and defined by the National AIDS Control Organization, people who use drugs is a group of people who are stigmatized, who are discriminated, who are been punished, who are been locked up, who are been beaten up, who are been humiliated by the police as well as by the state actors. So this actually leads to people not coming out, and access to services is being hampered because of that. And the whole national program, or the whole the aim of the WHO or the other UN organization of reaching 1990 would not be successful until and unless we don't address the stigma, the discrimination, as well as the decriminalization of the community of people who use drugs. I find it quite strange to also talk or give a special message on the International Human Rights Day. This Universal Human Rights Declaration was actually came into force, into implementation in, I believe it was in 1948, just after the independence of our country. And since then, I just don't understand, like, there are people who are talking about animal rights, that and there are people who are actually quite actively involved in that. So I mean, like, we are just human beings. I just don't understand, like, why do we need to be repeatedly appealing or telling people that this is the right of drug user, this is the right of sex worker, this is the right of transgender, this is the right of men who have sex with men, that's MSM. I mean, I find it very difficult to understand, to appealing on this particular day, because we are humans, and, like, I think we should be understanding what are the rights that people have. If you, I mean, cannot help other people, I mean, my appeal is, just don't harm them. Yeah, thank you.
Hello and namaskar to all of you. I am Amrita Sarkar, currently working in India HIV/AIDS Alliance as an advisor for transgender well-being and advocacy. I was born in Kolkata, and it was long way back when there was hardly any organization working for LGBTIQ people, and it was very difficult for me to know myself, to know my preferred gender, and also to cope up with the problem, to overcome the challenges. And definitely family, schools, everywhere I had to feel, or I have to face all these challenges. So that is the reason actually during my upbringing process, some passion was like growing up in my mind, that if I stand up on my feet on some time, definitely I'd love to work for my community. I led various program actually at nationally, and also I was part of couple of important guidelines, like there's an important guideline, is called Transit is a global guideline to implement HIV and STI program for the transgender people, and I was in a core working group. Certain areas including health first and foremost priority. And why I'm talking about healthcare, because still to today, I mean, show me like how many government hospital or private healthcare settings have separate bed or wards for the transgender people. Even like accessing the washroom is also a problem. And similar problem we also see in the education system as well. People are getting bullied, people are teased, and there are so many problems. I mean, I'm what to say and what not actually. For example, if a trans woman is like 10th standard pass, and in the beginning she was he, and with a male name. After her transition process, or legal name change process, definitely the trans woman has a new name now and new identity. But the colleges and institute, they are not ready to to accept that this is the same person, and that actually brings a lot of burden for their higher education. Because we don't have education, that is the reason actually. I mean, we are I can't say that we are jobless, but there are very handful of people who actually are earning, or like so-called prestigious job in corporates. Yes, there are people coming in different sector, like in police. Currently also I'll thank UP government, they have given jobs some transgender women in the metro stations also, but these are very like handful of example. Most of the time, like people of like us, if we do not have education, I mean it's very difficult to survive until and unless we join like hijra culture, or we involve in sex work. So if we involve in sex work, we make ourselves vulnerable towards HIV/AIDS and other communicable diseases. And the name change process, gender change process, that is also not very easy. I hope Trans Act will bring some changes, but in my experience, I had to face a lot of difficulties even after following the proper process. When a trans woman or a trans man or a gender non-conforming person is thrown out from the family, if he or she knows where to go, and she or he is not very getting some support, getting some minimum respect from their parents, from their family, life become hopeless. I mean, I don't have education, I don't have food, how I will survive? So mental health is a very important area to talk about and to work upon, especially for the transgender and other gender non-conforming person. A trans woman who was bleeding very badly, and she needed like immediate attention, immediate medical care. But there were other people in the queue, and my friend trying to help her, and he was asking the medical staff that she's bleeding very badly, why don't you help her first? And they told that these people are like this only, they don't have nothing to do, they are mainly in the sex work, they just do all these things to attract people and all. So like let us stand, I mean her turn will come after everyone is done. So this is not done, this should not be the attitude. People in danger, people in help cannot be judged based on anyone's gender identity or sexuality, and we forget that part. About service related areas like education, health and all those part, everything should be inclusive like all other citizens of the like so-called normal citizens. If they are getting this facility, they can be benefited all this, then why can't we? Do you have the answer? That is this COVID-19 pandemic. Why this is alarming for us? Because we are already discriminated, we are already stigmatized, based on our sexuality or gender identity. Just like you, we are also like common people, we are also like simple human being only. So if you can give a little bit respect, if you know a little bit more about us, we can also be there with you, we can also raise hand in hand, we can also bring the changes in the society for everyone, not only for you, not only for me, but us, for all of us.